Good day and welcome to Women on the Move Live. I'm your host, Kim McNair. Now, you know this show is about women who are in business, about business, and ready to do business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're a pace setter in the community, this show is for you. So I need you to call a friend, tweet a friend. You know what? Hit them up on Facebook and Instagram and let them know that Women on the Move Live is on the air. Well, my guest today is the owner of Equitable Payments. Welcome, Darrah Brunstein. How are you?
Kim, I'm great.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I love the dress.
Thank you, and I love everything you've got going on.
Oh, we're going to talk a little later.
Yeah, we'll talk fashion later.
Yes, yes. So you are a twin.
I am a twin.
So your company is with you and your twin brother.
Exactly.
So not identical.
Not identical. I always say to people, if we're identical, one of us is very unfortunate looking.
No, you probably both look. I mean, you look good. I'm quite sure he's handsome. Young
He's
man.
all right.
He all right? So merchant services is what you have. And tell me a little bit about some of the things that you offer, because a lot of business women, you know, business owners watch the program. And we want to know about the services you offer because we want to see if we can do a little business with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So about 9 years ago, we started this company and set it up as a brokerage, which was unique in this space. We took the model from other financial services platforms like insurance and thought, if that's a benefit to businesses for people to suss out a marketplace on your behalf and find the best solution, why is that not represented in credit card processing? So we brought it into this space, and now 9+ years later, we're in 38 states doing it.
Oh, wow.
And help businesses to really demystify what can be really complicated and frankly shady in this arena.
That is true.
So yeah, we really like to help businesses who are privately owned to set up their service to take credit cards from their customers, or to do a complimentary price analysis and see if we can help them and give them a little bit of an education on the industry along the way.
So how about home-based businesses, people that do, I mean, like, you know, everyone has their online stores, so you guys do all of that?
Absolutely.
So what's the differentiation from, like, of course, I mentioned earlier, the Square and the Cash App, it's all that kind of integrates together, or tell me a little bit.
They all ultimately do the same thing in the end. The main difference is the process and the pricing. So you're going to have a lot more hand-holding when you work with a traditional provider like us, from the beginning till the end. And as anyone who has credit card payments in their business knows, if your money is frozen, you want someone to call and know how to get your money. And that's not an offer or an opportunity you really get with Square or Stripe or PayPal as readily. And your pricing is going to be about 20% higher in those arenas. However, one little tip for the viewers, if your business is doing less than about $2,000 a month in total transaction volume, those are great options because there's no carrying costs. So I always say start there if you're getting started or don't plan to grow beyond that point, and then move into a more traditional platform which has small carrying costs and lower transaction fees.
Look at that. All right. See, this is why you've been doing it for how long? 10 years?
Almost.
Almost 10. Yeah. See, we only have the best here.
Well,
women on the move, okay? Women doing it big. I love it. I love it. So tell me, what is life by design, not by default?
In general, it's just a motto I live by. After starting this business in my mid-20s and taking 10 years of, frankly, for a while, burning out by putting so much into my business and often neglecting other parts of life, I realized, what does success really mean to me? Is success chasing other people's dreams? Is it checking the boxes? Is it having a bigger bank account? What is it? And when I stopped and really thought about it, for me, it was things like having real meaningful relationships, traveling, growing, learning, giving back. And I wasn't doing that in a way that made me really feel fulfilled. And so folks in my community began to come to me endlessly saying, how do you live this life you do? Because I began to travel for pleasure half of every month while running 2 companies, writing for Forbes and writing a children's book. And I said, you know, because I became intentional, I mapped it out, I assigned dollar values to what it costs to live this life I actually wanted to live on my terms, so that I knew in building my businesses what I really needed to make to support that. and then continued to develop a community to help uplift and support my dreams and me theirs. And so that just kind of became my rallying cry, life by design, not by default.
Oh, that is great. I mean, but this is good because you have so many, entrepreneurs, women, the small business owners, they're just putting so much in, and they're missing a whole lot, because time, you can't get time back. Time waits for no one.
Yeah.
So, that's time lost. It's gone.
Right.
So it's, to be able to navigate that and to realize it, then put it together, and this is going to be in written form, right? I can follow you.
I'm working on my second book, so
Yes.
I'm working with my agent on our book about life by design, not by default. And while I'm working on it, I'm launching a virtual summit. So rather than making people go to a physical place, you can be in your pajamas from anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's 3 days in July, and we've got speakers like the spiritual guru Deepak Chopra.
Oh.
We've got best-selling authors Jen Sincero and Adam Grant. We've got Kat Cole, who's an Atlanta renowned business woman herself.
Yes.
We've got Ronnie Turioff, who's a 2-time Olympian and NBA champion, and 45 other exceptional speakers, and it's free.
Oh.
So
Wait a
tune in.
minute. We're going to say that one more time. And it's what?
F-R-E-E.
It's free. Free. We like free, honey. We like
Me
free. That's
too.
great. So we can be in we can have a party, though. We can actually have it on the screen, or, put it on the TV and just sit there and with some friends in our home.
Totally.
And do that's new. I like that.
Hopefully
I really
you'll tune
do.
in.
I like that. So, so the dates that's coming on is when?
It'll be in July.
Okay.
We haven't announced the official
all right,
dates.
well, let me know, and I'll put it on womenonthemovetv.com.
Appreciate it.
So people will know, and I put it out there so that they can tune in and watch. And,
Fantastic.
wherever they are. And this is good because, again, I can probably get together a group of business women and say, hey, let's come together. Let's chime in and see what's. Now, will we be able to interact? Is there going to be a way we can kind of type in questions?
You'll be able to leave comments through the feed. All the speakers won't be interacting live because it'll be available all day, their sessions.
Okay. Now, in your ebook, Icebreakers, you have 55 icebreaker questions, and they're categorized medium, mild, and hot.
Yeah.
Give me some hot ones.
Oh gosh, throw me right in.
Give me a couple of hot.
I mean, one I love, and I call them hot because they just mean they're deeper.
Okay.
It's not necessarily what someone would come up to you and say. And to give a little context, one of the things that I hate the most is when people come up to you and the first thing they ask you is, what do you do? And the reason I dislike that question is I feel like it's minimizing. And it makes people think that their entire value and identity is wrapped around what you do and not who you are. And as a culture, we've come to believe that what you do is who you are. And I believe and hope that we are all much more than that, and that perhaps what you do is an extension of who you are, but is not exclusively who you are. So I'm trying to help people find ways to engage and get to know someone with more depth and intention more quickly than just what do you do, so it doesn't feel as transactional and it develops an actual relationship. So one of the questions that I love in the hot category is, for what are you most grateful? Or what's a dream that you say you want to accomplish but you don't actually believe you're going to? Just these things that are going to get below the surface and help you really get to know someone.
That's good. I like that. Oh yeah, because we go to a lot of different conferences, networking functions, and socials. And you're right. How you doing? So what do you do?
Right.
Oh, okay. What do you think I do?
Well, and for someone like you or like me who's multi-passionate and you have a lot of things on your plate, even then it's very difficult to answer that question. Because you're thinking, well, what do you want to hear from me? Are you sizing me up? Is there something you're looking for? And I often personally get uncomfortable because I don't know how to answer that question concisely or in a way that feels like they actually want to engage back when we know nothing about each other yet.
Right. You haven't. I mean, my name is.
Exactly.
So what do you do? My name is. Did you hear my name? But you're right. Because again, you said about sizing up, you just really don't know kind of where they're coming from. It's like, okay, wait a minute. And then for me, I say for us, all the things that we do, what are you really coming for? What's really driving you to come over here? So we have to kind of, look at it in a different perspective than I say than most. I'm just going to say that than most, at least for me.
Right. Well, so about 7 years ago, I founded an organization called Network Under 40 and then graduated into one called Network Over 40, where we produce networking events for young people so they can become friends first and do business second. And we do that all over the country for 30,000 people now.
Wonderful.
And my creating this guide that you've mentioned was after watching so many of those interactions and seeing a lot of what I'd consider the cardinal sins of networking occurring, where people really were just jumping. It's basically like trying to get married before you even dated.
Wow.
So let's not do the transaction and the deal before we actually have rapport and create some sort of friendship or relationship.
Oh wow, this is great. Well, I mean, goodness gracious, we can just go on and on, but they telling me I need to wrap up. How about that? You know how that goes, right? TV. Well, I thank you so much, Darrah, for coming and just being here and just being able to share. We're gonna look out for the conference that's coming up. And again, with the merchant services, get me the information so I can put it on womenonthemovetv.com.
Thank you.
I'm going to have all her information on the website. Go to womenonthemovetv.com. Merchant services, you need to know what they're offering, what they're doing. And if you're making under $2,000, if you're bringing in under $2,000, call. This is what you need to do. All right. Well, look, Darrah, thank you so much for coming today and just sharing so much information for all the viewers that are watching. I think everything that you put out is something that's a tool someone can use, and I can't wait for the conference.
Thank you.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to take a break, and we'll be back.
At Just For You, we provide a full range of women's services. We are passionate about providing personalized and attentive care to help our patients walk through the many phases of a woman's life. We provide preconceptual counseling, pregnancy and postpartum care, well woman exams, and menopause treatment, including bioidentical hormone therapy. We are located at 3976 Highway 42 in Locustville, Georgia.
Well, my next guest, she sets the bar very high for virtual assistants and concierge services for business. I want you all to meet the CEO of the POSH organization. Hi, Tyra.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I'm glad that you had time to step out and just sit on the couch and talk with me.
Thank you.
I mean, people that can't believe that, virtual assistants look so fly. I mean, you just...
Thank you.
Yeah, looking good. See, they just think they talking to somebody virtually, they in their pajamas.
No, I get up every morning. I get fully dressed, and not all makeup and everything, but I get dressed and do the thing.
All right, well, you look good. You look good. I'm glad you had time to come and just sit and share with me. But I want to get a little backstory. What was your, I know you have the POSH organization, but what were you doing before you started the virtual assistants and the concierge services for businesses? What was your background?
Sure, yes. So I have worked in corporate America for over 10 years prior to starting the POSH organization. I worked as an executive assistant. I worked as a marketing coordinator and a business manager. Office manager.
Okay.
For an architectural company, an engineering company, and also a computer technology company.
Okay.
So I worked for about 10 years doing that, and I just found that I was just underwhelmed. I really wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I didn't want to work for anybody else.
Okay.
And I actually got laid off after 10 years of working in these various for these various companies, and I decided I'm not going to work for anybody else anymore. And that's when the POSH organization that thought was born, basically.
Oh, wow, that's great. So look, entrepreneur, lay me off because I got something in the pocket. I got something in my back pocket. Well, you have enough years experience from what you do.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that are, trying to transition. Either they're retiring, looking at figuring out what they want to do. Some people are just saying, you know what, I'm just out of school. I just can't find out. What am I going to do?
Right.
So, being an entrepreneur now, being a business owner, coming from corporate America, doing your own thing, what are some of the tools or things that you can kind of share with somebody to say, hey, you know what, this is how I did it, this is what I did next, so first?
Sure. Well, being organized is probably number one. You want to set a plan for what it is that you want to do and organize where exactly you want to go.
Okay.
When I started the POSH organization, I was mainly doing on-site organizing for small businesses. And that kind of rolled into me providing administrative services for those same very individuals or small businesses.
Okay. Cool.
So, once it transitioned kind of over to me doing more things virtually, that's when I got that aha moment, like I can do this for more than just, a few individuals. It really kind of opened up the door for so many clients that I serve today.
Oh, wow, that is great. Look at that. And being organized, that's important because you have an organization.
Yes.
And that's a part that needs to go with your business plan. And
Yes.
all that needs to lay together. So you were an organizer. Okay, so my closet look a mess.
See, and I mean, that's another thing that, where my passion came from is I am just naturally a very organized person. So I would, go to individuals' homes and organize their closets, organize their actual home offices.
Wow.
And, pantries, other different areas in their
Okay.
home, and just found that people need a lot more than just hands-on
this.
organizing. They need digital organizing too.
Look at that. So that's, well, you hear content is king, content is queen. How do you feel about that? Because I asked someone else about content and putting it together, because you have to create, and I guess with the social media space that you're in,
Yes.
the things you do for your clients, creating that content. How does that all develop and work well for you?
Sure. So, when as far as social media is concerned, when I intercept a new client and I'm going to be doing social media for them, we develop a plan. We define who their market is. We define, what it is that the message that they're trying to send to their followers. And so in developing that content, we stay along those lines of where their goals are. If they have a product that they're trying to sell, or if they have a service that they're trying to offer, the content is built around, what they're doing. Maybe, they may be on a talk show soon, and, just kind of promoting their business that way. So the content is built around what they're doing currently, and helps to get to, obviously get to where they want to go.
All right, all right. Well, she's just so smart. She's smart.
Thank you.
But it's good that that you say that, because people need to see and know. Because I was talking with a friend, and they were dealing with someone who was a virtual assistant in another country.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. How does that work? I guess there's an organization or a company. I'm like, I want to deal with somebody here. And plus, if I need to get to you,
right,
I need to get to you.
Exactly. And that's one thing about the POSH organization. We are here in Atlanta. However, I can travel to your location and do, administrative services there if you need for me to. And, me being in the United States as opposed to, across the pond, I have a good command of the English language. I'm relatable with regard to, business processes. Here, you don't have to worry about a different time zone or a language barrier.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So, I'm just a lot more relatable than, possibly dealing with someone that may be overseas or that you have to wait 24 hours to get back
get an answer,
get a response. Exactly.
I don't have time for that. I need it now.
Exactly.
It was yesterday I needed it.
And that most of my clients do. When they request a task, they needed it yesterday.
Right.
And so I haven't missed the deadline yet.
Wonderful.
So we're going to keep churning away.
That. Now you have an all-female staff. Oh my gosh, how does that work out? What's the chemistry with all the ladies?
Yes. So first, when I started out, it was just me. And I'd say for a good, I've been in business now for 4 years. So it was for a good 2 years, it was just me. And I found that, I was getting more and more business, more and more requests. And so I needed to hire on some, staff that could help me facilitate, completing the services for a larger amount of clients.
Yes.
And I decided, well, I don't want to say purposefully to hire all females, but it just kind of worked out that way.
That's okay.
And we gel very well. I have vetted them because my clients expect for me to exceed expectations, and I work very hard to do that. So the people that I hired, they know that is a standard.
Wow.
Everything that is submitted goes through me, and then we submit it to obviously the client. But to speak more about my VAs, they work, or some of them are mothers. They work from home themselves. Some of them also have their own businesses and just have a specialty like writing. That they can provide me with some time or some hours to do those services for me when needed.
Wow,
So,
that's
but we
great.
gel well.
Well, I'm proud of you. I am
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. I'm glad to have met you and worked with you with some of your clients.
Yes.
And I know this is just a build up to a lot more. And I know I'm gonna need all your services.
Yes, please call me.
Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Well, look, it was great. Look, guys, this was wonderful. I thank you so very much, Tyra, for sitting with me. Look, for more information on the POSH organization, go to WomenOnTheMoveTV.com. Look, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP Georgia, creating real possibilities.
I'm sitting here with a gentleman that is, he's a world traveler. He's been all over the globe, and I couldn't wait to get him here to sit down and talk with us. How you doing, DJ?
I am doing well.
You're doing good?
Oh,
wow. Oh, wow. I say DJ, but give us your proper name.
It's DJ Fadelf.
Fadelf.
Yeah, like you say for self, Fadelf.
All right. Okay, I like that. We can do that. We can do that. Well, listen, you've been doing a lot of things. I know DJing is one of the things, but you're an actor, you're a philanthropist, you're a writer, motivational speaker, and you travel the globe. How has that journey been for you with all of these things that you do?
It's been a blessing, a growth, a learning experience. I never feel like I've made it. You know, I don't think I'll ever feel like I've made it. But it's just a learning. It's a learning experience every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So when you're a young man, you know, little fella, and you were thinking about what you wanted to do when you became a man, this is what I'm going to do. Was what you're doing now, was it ever in the picture?
It's funny. I said if anyone, I've gotten asked that before, and as a kid, I said if, not even as a kid, probably as a teenager, I said if someone was to ask me that, I would just say instantly, yes.
Oh, wow.
I saw it because, you know, and, you know, I speak at a lot of schools. I speak to a lot of kids, and first thing I try to tell them is that anything I'm going to say today is not about me bragging about myself. It's just to show you that I was where you were, and I did it.
Wow.
So I say that to say is that I honestly feel like I've been put on earth to be one of the reasons it's better.
Wow.
It's either going to be my talent, my words, or my actions that people say, because of DJ Fadelf, I want to be better today.
See, look
and
at
I
that.
say that to say that I feel like I have visions, so I feel like a visionary. So even as a young kid, I have had visions, and my vision was one day I'm going to perform in front of thousands of people. I'm going to DJ in front of thousands of people, you know, because I started as a young kid as a singer, you know, and it transitioned into DJing.
Okay, so you can sing.
A little bit.
Okay,
you know,
all right
you know,
now.
as a songwriter, I write
A little
music,
something,
I
okay.
reference it to give it to the other artists.
Well, you know what? You are the DJ of a 3-time Grammy Award-winning group. Tell us a little bit about the group.
The group is called Ghetto and Blues. Originally, they were called the Product G&B.
Okay.
They were proteges of Wyclef Jean.
Oh.
Hit record, Maria Maria with Carlos Santana.
Yes,
Sold,
Maria, Maria.
sold 15 million plus and continues to sell. But they had numerous records, you know, that people just didn't realize were them because of the poor marketing and branding. So even still to this day, despite of all of their accolades and how much they have, 3 Grammys and plus records, you can never say their name, and people be like, "Oh yeah, I know them." Got to break down everything they've done.
Right, and then it kind of goes
Right.
to
So it's
okay.
humbling for me because if you don't know, or I can't tell you who the group is, and feel prideful, then I definitely can't tell you who I am. Because you're like, if I don't know the group, I definitely ain't gonna know their DJ.
Right, that's right.
You
that's
understand
right.
what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
oh,
it humbles us, but it still doesn't take away from anything they've done or anything I've done or
that's awesome.
we've done together.
That is
you know?
awesome. Look at that. I'm sitting here Grammy. I don't get he Grammy Award-winning DJ. But listen, I want to get into this book, Single Man, Married Man.
Hey,
Oh,
get that. go get
bestseller,
that.
bestseller. Talk to us about this book.
Single Man, Married Man became a book. Oh, it's an award-winning book, by the way. Now.
Okay, award-winning.
by LA. It's called the Los Angeles Newcomers Books Awards. I forgot.
Okay, good,
but
good.
It's,
I mean,
it's there.
Uh-huh.
But the book is written by myself and 7 of my colleagues. You know,
Okay.
we came together, 8 different perspectives, one common goal, and that was to inspire and remind us what we used to do in a relationship to keep it going. It's written, like I said, from different perspectives. So you have married men,
Okay.
single,
Okay.
divorced, and bachelors, because we consider the single and bachelor to be totally different. The
Oh,
mindset,
see,
right?
See. Oh, ladies, we got to get this, ladies. This is going to help us out.
it's
Forget.
great.
I mean,
It's
I know
great.
there's a couple of other books out there, and I know you know what I'm talking about. But we need this one. We might need to get this one out.
Yeah, and we've garnered the right to be able to say one of the most talked about relationships books in 2015.
Oh, I need this because I'm single
Literally.
for a little while.
For a little while.
Yeah, after this book, I'll probably be on point.
And you could be okay with being single though.
Yeah,
Don't
I
rush
am.
it.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
I enjoy it. Look, I enjoy my singleness. I am not one of those, no, I'm
Right.
enjoying every bit of it.
There you
I'm
go.
enjoying everything God is doing in my life. So
There you go.
this is great. But this book seems
Amen.
like it's going to be something that we
It
need to have
is.
in our book club.
We haven't had any negative feedback. The funny thing is, outside of it being, I mean, literally have been sat with Essence Roundtable, the Today Show, Centric TV, the list goes on. But the good part about it is that one of the authors in the book, his father's a pastor.
Okay.
He gave us the thumbs up for it to be okay to be read in churches as
Wow.
well.
Oh, that's
You
big.
know?
That's big.
So
that's
a
huge.
big plus.
Wow. So we're going to see it on the big screen soon?
Yeah, you know what? I got a call recently where they're in the making. Some of the authors are sitting down with producers trying to turn it into a talk show.
Okay.
You know,
All
trying
right.
to talk
Okay.
show.
So I'll come on and you guys come on, or
And we
or
come on
you
and get
come
it
on, I
going.
come on. It don't matter.
Talking
we can do
real
this thing
talk.
together. See, this is about women on the move, and then we can get into the single man
But
marriage.
see,
Oh, this is
see,
perfect.
you need to bring it out here.
That's
bring it
right.
to Atlanta and make it happen for real.
Oh, we need to make
Y'all
this
see that,
happen.
right?
Did
Y'all heard
you
me, right?
hear? Did you hear?
Let's
Right
get it
here
cracking.
today, we're gonna do this thing. See, making things happen. That's what Atlanta's all about. That's why everybody's trying to come to Atlanta,
For
because
real.
this is really a lot of
It
things
is.
are birthed and a lot of things
It
are
is.
happening. Well, I'm so glad you came to hang
I'm
out with me
glad you invited me.
today. This is cool. Oh, we do need some more time, but I'm going to be doing a panel
Okay.
coming up, and we're talking about doing something with men on the move. And I think you need to be on this panel to talk.
So the funny thing is, I'm affiliated with a group of men. It's 9, 10 of us. We're called Men Making Moves.
That's it. It's on. It's on. It's happening. Did y'all see it? Right here. Live. We just did it.
We just did it. Hey.
Okay. Well,
Let's make
coming
it happen.
soon.
Coming soon.
Women on the move with men making moves. I love it.
There we go.
Well, thank you for. I tell you, this has been such a pleasure to have you,
Thank
DJ.
you.
I know we've
Thank
always run into each other at a lot of different events and things here in Atlanta. But this is a pleasure to sit down with you one-on-one.
Same to
Listen,
you.
go to womenonthemovetv.com. How could they hit you up?
Well, they can find me at either djfadelf.com, that's DJFADELF.com, or the Instagrams, the Twitters, but the Instagrams and Twitters are just DJ Fadelf.
Okay.
Facebook is I am DJ Fadelf. Or go pick up Single Man, Married Man.
That's right. Get
and
the book.
Let's
get
get
the
it
book,
going.
Get the
You
book.
know what I
Get
mean?
the book. Yes.
But definitely.
All right. Well,
Definitely.
listen, we're going to take a break. I'll be right back. Thank you for everything. I'm telling you, this has been great. Thank you for tuning in to another week of Women on the Move. I'm your host, Kim McNair. This show is being brought to you by AARP of Georgia. Look, I want to see you all tuned in right here next week.